Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're doing a spring cleaning, spring reset vlog, which includes a book unhaul, bookshelf reorganization because I'm way overdue for that. This is gonna be sort of in like vlog style format. So over the next couple days, we're just gonna hang out and do some spring cleaning. We're gonna start with the unhaul, actually. The sun is doing some crazy things and we're gonna have to just work with it. I have 11 books that we're going to be unhauling. Not too many, but a respectable number. And before you ask, yes, I do have a Pango Books account. It's been on hiatus for like a year or so. If you were around when I posted my last unhaul video, I'll post that link down below because I unhauled over like 230 books or something crazy, and they're still all in the corner of this room over here. There's like 9 huge stacks over there. And I will be putting the vast majority of what was in that unhaul video on Pango in addition to these cute little 11 books. So sometime this month, it is April of 2024 right now. Sometime this month, I will have most of these books listed for sale, okay? Including some special editions and shit over there. So check it out if you want. So I'm going to be unhauling Rouge by Mona Awad. I have sort of mixed feelings on unhauling it because I love Mona Awad's writing. I love her imagery, but there is just a couple things about this book that just like make me mad when I think about it. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel bad. I feel bad about getting rid of her. Okay, let's talk about the next one and then I'll decide if I want to keep that or not because I love Mona Awad. This book didn't really work for me. It was like a solid 3 or 3.5, but like I still liked a lot of elements about, okay, let me think about it. This one's easy, okay? I'm going to be unhauling A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir only because every single other book in this series that I have is paperback and this is the hardcover. So I'm going to unhaul this one and then get the paperback, okay? I still haven't read it, but when I do read it, I want a matching set. So this will be unhauled. Next, I will be unhauling Finlay Donovan is Killing It by El Casamano. If you watched my reading your guys' worst books of 2023, this was actually on there because it came up on the survey a lot that I gave to you guys to fill out. And I agreed. I did not like this. I'm so sorry. So unhaul it is. Next, I will be unhauling The Cartographers by Pang Shepard. A little bit bummed about this one because I love the cover and I think the story itself is really fun, but I know I will never reread it. And there are other books that I would rather put on my shelves. So I'm going to unhaul this one and hope that someone else finds it out there and loves it. Kind of same with this one. Remarkably White Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I ended up liking this one well enough, like a 3.5 to maybe a 4 on a good day. I think it has merit and I think it's a good story, but again, I will never reread it. I'll honestly probably give this one to my mom because I think she would really like it. So I'll unhaul this and I know my mom's watching this, so everyone say hi mom in the comments. Next one is The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. This is a great book. Someone should buy this immediately when I put it on Pango. I really like the story. I just didn't really think that the chemistry was all there between the two characters, but I loved so much about this book. I also know that I won't reread it. So there's no point in me keeping it and withholding it from the general public. So I'm going to put this one on Pango and hope someone loves it. This next one, I talk about it in my wrap up that I just posted, but The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride, I will be putting up on Pango as well. Perfect condition. I underlined a couple things that I thought were like really insightful and I enjoyed. But I ended up DNFing this book. Again, I talk about it in the wrap up, but it's a great hardcover and I don't think that I will pick it up again. So unhaul it is. This next one will probably just be like a Goodwill donation or something because it's not in the best condition, but My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. You know what? I think I talked about this in my last unhaul video, but it was in this corner and not that corner. So I don't know what I was doing with it. Maybe I was gonna see if my mom wanted it because I think this is technically her book. If she doesn't want it, I will be donating it. Next, I have From Blood and Ash, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's going to be an absolute bitch to get rid of all of these tabs, but I am going to unhaul these. I don't really think of them fondly, except for Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I really like that one. Don't really love the other two, and also I have really pretty special editions of them. I should probably get rid of those two. They're just so stunning, but I definitely don't need those editions and these editions, so I'm gonna unhaul these 3. Okay, back to Rouge. Man, okay, the literal only reason that I'm going to be keeping this book is for like research purposes. Like I'm trying to write every now and then, and if I ever want to try to write something like in this vein of like a little bit of like weird horror, I really liked the imagery that she wrote in the present day parts while our main character is actually in the like cultish spa that she gets like enveloped in. Those vibes and atmosphere and like imagery, like I said, like those are the things that I really loved about this book. So I guess I'll keep it for now, but it's on thin ice. I should have known that the sun was going to be aggressive right now. But okay, so next step would be to start putting these on Pango audio and getting that little storefront ready to actually sell books again. I've been hoarding boxes that could fit books for the last like couple months, so hopefully I have enough shipping supplies, but I'll slowly start doing that over the next couple days. In the meantime, tonight I have to edit my wrap up that is going live on Friday. It has a sponsorship, so I have to get it to them by tomorrow for them to approve it. So I'm gonna edit that tonight. I work tomorrow, but then on Thursday we'll be back and we'll do sort of the next stage of this little spring cleaning process. In case you're wondering, I'm currently reading The Night Swim by Megan Golden. I think it is going really well. Our main character in this one is Rachel Krull, and she has this like true crime podcast. She's on her 3rd season and she's going to this random like little small town to cover a rape trial that's going on. But while she's there, she also starts getting these like weird notes left on her windshield, left on like room service trays, and like all these weird things. She's getting notes from this person asking her for help and telling her story about how her sister died when she was younger. And so we're getting like 2 sort of mystery thrillers in one book because we're going back and forth between her trying to cover the rape trial and also solve this murder mystery. I'm listening to it on audio, and it's also super fun because the podcast elements have this little melodic tune. It has a different sound. There's, I think, a couple different voice actresses. If not, then the one is doing a really great job at making it dynamic. But so far it's really engaging. I think I'm about halfway done by now, and it's definitely one that I am thinking about when I'm not reading it. So I'm going to edit tonight, hopefully finish this one either tomorrow or Thursday morning, and we'll start listing all of these books for sale. It's quite intimidating. There is a lot. But I am excited to reorganize my shelves because it is a long time coming. I have a lot of books that are in stacks over here that I would love to put up on the shelves. So time to reorganize for sure. So next time I see you, we will be doing that. Hello, good morning. As promised now, it is a couple days later. I worked all day yesterday. This morning, Caleb woke up not feeling good. So I spent some time getting him all situated on the couch. He's watching a show, had some soup and some Dayquil, and now he's all situated like a little baby. But we are about to commence the reorganization portion of this like spring cleaning moment. We made a fresh iced coffee. I'm not going to be doing a whole ton of makeup today at all, like bare minimum, pretty much what I do on a normal basis, which is really not anything. But it's just a really rainy, gloomy day today, so I just thought I would keep it pretty low key. I don't feel like doing hair and everything, because why? But while I do a little bit, wanted to come tell you that I finished Night Swim this morning. I spent some time before doing anything else, just sitting on the couch and finishing that book. The audiobook is so good. If you love or want to try out audiobooks, that is one that I definitely would recommend. It has a podcast element and some like music and sound effects throughout. And I know I already told you what it's mostly about. Those 2 like mysteries that we're following were so intriguing, and I just was thinking about that book every single time that it wasn't in my hand or in my ears, I guess. The book definitely has some trigger warnings, so I would check those out before you are to go into it in case you are sensitive to some topics such as like rape and sexual assault. And this story follows the trial of one of those rapes, like I talked about before. And I haven't felt this angry while reading a book in quite a while. The justice system and how we are forced to handle rapes and, you know, like actually find someone guilty of raping someone is so awful. Like, not only is the person violated once, but violated multiple more times in the courtroom, talking about it in great vast detail to all of these random strangers, and it's just awful. This story definitely talks about that sort of like injustice portion of the justice system, and there were just so many parts of the book that I was just getting so heated about. It was really like real in that sense. Like, it really didn't shy away from any of those things, and it was hard to read. It was hard to read sometimes, but I did love a couple of the twists at the end. I thought it was super well constructed. I don't think that I have really any big complaints. I loved my experience. I mean, it was like a hard experience, but like I loved my experience reading it. I think it was a great book. I'm tempted to give it either a 4.5 or a 5, honestly. It was just really good, especially having the audiobook with all of those like little added podcast elements. I definitely think I would check out this author's other stuff. And now I'm having to switch into gears of thinking about this reorganization because I don't really know what I'm doing still, like with how I'm going to organize things. I know I want to do a rainbow shelf for my romance books. I I love the aesthetics of rainbow shelves, but I don't love just the messiness of it being so like alphabetically out of order. But also like, I just think that some portion of my shelf having a rainbow sort of filing system could be fun. And I think doing it in the romance section makes sense. So I'm going to try to do that. I got influenced on Instagram by an ad like I always freaking do. I got this like alley-oop mascara. I have no idea. I just fucking fell for another ad. So we're gonna see how I like it today. It's really pretty. I like the tube. I didn't know that they would be so cute in like travel size. It's kind of adorable. The rest of my shelves though, I think I'm going to continue to just do like by genre and then by author. That's what makes sense to me. I can't like mentally and emotionally do the rest of my shelves any other way. I don't love how short this thing is. It's really sort of stressing me out having my hands this close to my eyeballs. Feels like I need more room to aim this wand correctly. I feel like it's not giving me a whole lot of like volume because I have really long eyelashes as it is, and I don't ever use a curler. Maybe I should just start doing that. But typically I don't have to use a curler, and mascara will just like make my eyelashes like stand, I don't know, go up instead of completely just straight out. This doesn't seem to be happening with this one, but it is separating them nicely. Like I'm not like mad about it. It's fine. But okay, this is fine. We're just hanging out in the house for the day, so I don't really want to do a whole lot of things. Let's go reorganize, I suppose. I haven't moved around any books since I set it up for the first time, so there's a lot to reorganize. I have acquired a lot of new books since then, and I might even take some books off the shelf that I have on there now because I have limited space on my shelves. I don't mind having a couple stacks around. You know, I lived in stacks of books for years, but I want what's on my shelves to be things that I'm like actively really excited about since I do have limited space. So that's what I have to go figure out. We're gonna go take a look and shuffle things around. We have stacks now of books that need to go on the shelves if they can fit. My problems are this: I have fantasy, sci-fi, suspense, romance, and like contemporary literary fiction. And then like obviously memoirs, nonfic, classics and things like that. But there are some stories that it's like, what category do they even like legitimately fall into? So like magical realism, is that fantasy, or should I just put that in contemporary and just know that it has a little touch of magical realism in it? You know, like, is it considered fantasy? I don't know. And then books with like creatures and monsters in it, you know, like I always put vampire books in fantasy, I think, but witches are complicated for me because sometimes witchy stories are set in like a real world scenario. So that feels like it's a contemporary book to me. But if there are witches in a story and it's like a fantasy setting, that's definitely fantasy to me. I feel like witches can be either or. Magical realism can be either or. And I think I just have to do like what feels right in my homeostasis inside of me. But now that I have genre stacks, I'm going to move them to alphabetical order within genres, and then that'll make it easier for me to be able to just throw them up on the shelf where they belong. And I guess just like vibe on where I think certain books should go. Just like what feels right to me, I guess. No one told me having bookshelves was gonna be so stressful. When I had like 25 book stacks, I didn't even arrange them by anything. They were literally just stacked everywhere and I was fine with it. But now I have these stunning shelves and it's a lot to keep track of and organize appropriately. So I'm gonna go try to organize a little bit more. Okay, let's do it. done. That took so long. Since I have limited shelf space, I had to take off some books so that I could have room for new books. So what's on my shelves now is predominantly books that I have not read or books that I have read and I mostly really loved. What I don't have up there is pretty much any YA. I have stacks of YA books over to my left, and then I have manga and graphic novels over there to my right. Again, my library is a work in progress, but I do feel a little bit better having these 3 shelves a little bit more organized. If I think about it too long, I'm gonna start moving things around again, and I just can't do that because there's nothing else that I can do. So now that my library is a little more put together, a little less chaotic, I feel good. I feel good about leaving the video here. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching, then leave me the lemon emoji down below in the comments if you don't know what else to say. And while you're down there, please do subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.